The humans surged onto the battlefield, ruthlessly dispatching aliens with calculated precision. The Earthman's ferocity was unmatched, turning the tide of the conflict in mere moments. The Creek fleet, once formidable, now faced imminent destruction at the hands of the despised Zonian aggressors. Captain Zarek, gripped by despair, watched helplessly as his fleet was torn apart, his command console a testament to their dire situation. Suddenly, a new voice crackled over the comm channel, offering a glimmer of hope. Captain Nathan Rivers of the United Earthship Defiant promised reinforcements, a lifeline in their darkest hour. With cannons ablaze, the human dreadnought emerged from warp, unleashing a barrage of deadly fire upon the Zonian ships. Perhaps today victory would not elude the Creek, with the humans leveling the playing field. Meanwhile, Emperor Zarthan lounged upon his throne, a smirk dancing across his reptilian features as he witnessed the chaos unfolding before him. For him, this was the moment he had long awaited, the chance to seize control of the CX territories. His meticulous preparations had paid off, his war machine poised for domination. As the Creek fleet crumbled under his onslaught, Zarthan reveled in his imminent triumph. But his triumph was short-lived, as a new presence appeared on the battlefield. A colossal dreadnought unlike anything seen before, Zarthan's curiosity piqued. He demanded immediate communication with the mysterious vessel. Captain Rivers of the Defiant responded defiantly, warning the Zorgan Emperor of the folly of their aggression. It seemed the Zorgan had met their match in the humans, who were more than capable of fighting back. Upon the humans' conclusion, the new warship unleashed a devastating barrage upon the nearest Zonian frigate, deploying a full alpha strike. Missiles, mass drivers, and beam weapons converged upon the target with lethal precision. Shockingly, the frigate's shields collapsed instantly, its hull crumbling like brittle plastic. Emperor Zarthan watched in horror as the human vessel penetrated deeper into his ranks, its weaponry tearing through his prized armada like a force of nature. Zonian shields, refined over decades, proved futile against the onslaught, offering little resistance. With a surge of fury, Zarthan abandoned his throne, marching toward the bridge section where his gunnery crews toiled. He struck the battery commander sharply on the back of the head, demanding immediate action. "Get it together!" he snarled, ordering all forward lances to target the human monstrosity. As his ships laboriously adjusted to face the incoming threat, Zarthan's gut sank like a stone. The realization hit him hard. His assessment had been gravely mistaken. These humans were a far greater threat than he had anticipated. His empire had finally encountered a foe worthy of its equal. Meanwhile, Captain Nathan Rivers maintained a stern composure on the bridge of the U.S. Defiant. With hands clasped behind his back and brow furrowed in concentration, he monitored the chaotic battle unfolding on the main view screen. With each exchange of fire, ships erupted into flames, the Creek fleet faltering under relentless assault. Nathan barked orders for a status report, his first officer quickly relaying the grim news. "The Zonian fleet is pressing their attack," she reported. "The Creek have lost 70% of their ships. They won't hold out much longer at this rate." Nodding grimly, Nathan reflected on the heated debates within Earth's high command regarding intervention. Despite reluctance to involve humanity in an alien conflict, Nathan understood the strategic imperative. The Creek, vital allies with extensive colonies and mining outposts, shared a border with Earth's own colony in the Oort cloud. The threat of Zonian aggression loomed large, necessitating protection for a species unable to defend themselves. The resolution of those debates had ultimately prevailed. The U.S. Defiant raced at flank speed toward the Creek home system, coinciding with the commencement of the Zonian assault, witnessing the Zonian fleet crumbling under his command. Nathan couldn't help but indulge in a quick fist pump. The decision to deploy the Defiant had proven wise. It stood as the pinnacle of Earth's space forces, a sleek and deadly dreadnought that outmatched all adversaries, with its triple armored hull deflecting feeble laser blasts, and its arsenal of quantum phase cannons and neutron torpedoes tearing through Zonian defenses effortlessly. The Defiant was a formidable force to reckon with. "Captain, the Zonian flagship is altering course, heading straight for us," the sensor officer reported, Nathan's focus intensified as he realized the Zonian commander had identified the true threat, the humans. The Defiant was their primary target now. "Helm, adjust our heading to face them, but maintain our evasive maneuvers," Nathan ordered. As the mighty dreadnought swung to confront the approaching Zonian warship, its relentless barrage continued to pound the enemy fleet. Pressing a button on his armrest, Nathan contacted Sarah, his second in command. "Sarah, prepare the neutron cannons for a full volley if necessary. Divert power from the AR shield array. When that Zonian bastard comes within range, I want to hit him hard." "Yes, sir," responded Commander Thompson crisply, immediately springing into action. Tension gripped the bridge like a coiled spring as the Zonian flagship closed in, trailing flames from multiple hull breaches. The Zonian flagship was a menacing sight, its design rugged and intimidating, with a spiked prow and a bulbous AR section emitting a sinister red glow, dwarfing the Defiant in size. It unleashed a barrage of bright yellow energy, bolts the moment it entered extreme range. Human shields flicker under the onslaught, but held, albeit faintly. A low, ominous hum resonated from deep within the Defiant as the neutron cannons powered up, drawing every available watt from the reactor to charge their magnetic accelerator coils. Nathan monitored the holographic range indicator, urging the Zorgon ship to close in faster. His grip tightened on the armrests as the icon approached optimal firing position. "Almost there. Fire," he commanded. With a roar, a brilliant blue-white beam erupted from the Defiant's forward gunports, striking the Zorgon's flagship head-on. The alien ship's shield struggled briefly before failing spectacularly, the neutron stream piercing through its center, vaporizing decks and crew alike, as the two halves of the dissected warship hung motionless in space. Internal explosions tore them apart, scattering debris across the void. Cheers erupted on the Defiant's bridge at the destruction of the Zonian flagship, but Nathan silenced any premature celebration with a sharp gesture. The threat was far from over. The rest of the Zorgon fleet still loomed. With no reinforcements in range, Nathan wasted no time rallying the Creek ships to form a defensive sphere around the Defiant. Damaged Creek cruisers and frigates clustered tightly around the human dreadnought, presenting a united front against the enemy. They shielded themselves behind the Defiant's formidable defenses, while contributing their remaining firepower to the fight. Turning to Sarah, Nathan's expression hardened into a determined mask, a testament to his experience and leadership earned through countless battles. "We need to coordinate firing solutions with the Creek. Our objective is to whittle down the Zonian numbers and force them to break off. Relay targeting data and optimal attack vectors," Nathan commanded. Sarah swiftly complied, bent over her console, relaying instructions to the Creek Bridge officers via comms. Their acknowledgement came in a quick nod. As Nathan settled back into his chair, observing the Zonian fleet regrouping for another assault, he knew the battle was far from over. Despite the destruction of their flagship, the Zonians still outnumbered the ragtag human Creek defensive formation. It was shaping up to be a brutal exchange of casualties until one side relented. In prolonged space battles, humans were unmatched in their resilience and determination. They would exact a heavy toll from the Zonians for every inch of space gained, with the Defiant leading the charge. Meanwhile, Kazal clenched the armrests of his command chair as his cruiser endured another barrage of plasma torpedoes. Smoke billowed from ruptured conduits, and lights flickered ominously amidst the chaos. His view screen displayed the twisted wreckage of Creek ships, once proud vessels now reduced to drifting hulks by the relentless Zonian onslaught. Kazal grimly accepted the inevitable. The Creek were valiant, but outmatched. Suddenly, amidst the groaning metal and venting atmosphere, Kazal's sensor officer exclaimed, "Sir, new contact dropping out of warp. It's massive, expecting another Zonian vessel." Kazal was stunned to witness a ship unlike any he had seen before. Sleek and predatory, bristling with weapons, it dwarfed even the largest Zonian battleships. As the newcomer unleashed its devastating firepower, Kazal watched in awe as Zonian ships crumbled before it. An incoming transmission from the unknown vessel interrupted the chaos. A human face filled the screen, exuding calm confidence. "This is Captain Nathan Rivers of the United Earth ship Defiant. We stand with the Creek against Zonian aggression. All ships, form up on us, we'll take the lead. Kazal's jaw dropped in disbelief. The humans, technologically advanced beyond imagination, had come to their aid against the Zonian onslaught. He had always brushed aside such stories as mere exaggerations, tall tales spun from too much altar in whiskey. Surely no fledgling species could wield such power or display such fearlessness. Yet witnessing the human ship, the Defiant, in action, Kazal realized how mistaken he had been. It maneuvered through the chaos of battle with the grace of a dancer, effortlessly evading lumbering Zonian vessels and striking with lightning precision. Its weapons cut through the enemy fleet like a scythe through wheat, leaving nothing but debris in its wake. Through the calm link, Kazal observed the Defiant's crew, marveling at their focus and professionalism. They exuded a calm assurance born of extensive training and combat experience. No panic, no hesitation, just a steely determination to accomplish their mission. Shaking himself from his stupor, Kazal issued orders to his helmsmen, urging them to match the Defiant's maneuvers and combine their firepower with the human ship. The KC's cruiser surged forward, joining the defensive perimeter established by the humans. Other Creek ships followed suit, their once proud fleet now rallying around this unexpected savior. Kazal watched in astonishment as Captain Rivers orchestrated the motley assortment of ships, human and Creek alike, with crisp precision. His tactics were unlike anything Kazal had witnessed before, using the Defiant as a shield against Zonian fire, while the Creek ships harassed the enemy flanks. It was a masterful display of fleet combat, and slowly but surely, the tide of battle began to turn. The Zonian advance faltered and then stalled as they faced a united front of human and Creek vessels. For the first time since the war began, Kazal allowed himself to feel a flicker of hope. Perhaps with the humans at their side, they could do more than just survive. Glancing at the comm screen displaying Captain Nathan Rivers' face, calm and resolute amidst the chaos, Kazal silently thanked whatever higher powers might be listening for the day the humans came to fight alongside the Creek. Gripping his armrests tighter, he refocused his attention on the battle. Ready to fight with renewed determination, the Zonians may have initiated the war, but with human assistance, the Creek would be the ones to end it. Emperor Zathan paced furiously across the bridge of his flagship, the Zorgan Fist of Conquest. Each step sent reverberations through the metal decking, his clawed feet digging deep with each angry stride. Rage simmered within him, threatening to boil over at any moment. This invasion had been his masterpiece, the result of meticulous planning and preparation spanning years. The Creek were meant to crumble before the might of his armada, their worlds ripe for conquest, but everything had unraveled with the arrival of the humans. Zathan snarled as another of his battleships was consumed in a brilliant nuclear detonation. Twisted wreckage spun lazily through space on his view screen, a grim testament to his fleet's demise. Ship by ship, his once proud armada was dismantled, all because of that lone human dreadnought. Shields dwindled to a mere 12%, weapons offline, catastrophic damage rampant. "Emperor, we must withdraw," pleaded one of Zahn's tactical officers, his name forgotten in Zathan's fury. Zathan's glare bore into the officer, the urge to silence him permanently tempting. But he resisted. He needed every claw at their station to salvage the situation. As the master of the greatest empire in the galaxy, he refused to cower at the first sign of resistance. "Bring us about," he commanded the helmsman. "Set course for that human ship. Diversed all power to engines and forward shields." The bridge crew exchanged incredulous glances, but none dared question Zathan's authority. Slowly, ponderously, the Fist of Conquest shifted its prow toward the U.S. Defiant. Thrusters flared as the massive warship surged toward the human guns. "We're being hailed by the human ship," the comms officer reported, her voice trembling with apprehension. "Ignore them," Zorak snapped, dismissing the urge to engage in banter with mere mammals, leaning forward in his command throne. His claws dug into the armrests as he fixated on the viewscreen. The Defiant loomed larger, its sleek, predatory design, a stark contrast to the utilitarian shapes of the zoning ship. Zathan's heart pounded in his chest as the distance between them closed. This was the moment of truth. He would demonstrate to these upstarts the folly of challenging the zoning empire, even if it cost him his last ship and his final breath. "Target their bridge," Zathan growled, his voice low and menacing. "I want to look that human captain in the eye as we send him to oblivion." The gunnery crews rushed to comply, redirecting the Fist of Conquest's remaining turrets toward the Defiant's command tower. The human ship's shields shimmered and crackled as they absorbed the onslaught of laser fire, but the Defiant refused to remain passive. With a burst of blinding light, it retaliated, piercing the zoning and flagship amidships. Zathan was thrown from his throne as the entire ship shuddered and lurched. Warning klaxons blared, and the accurate stench of burning insulation filled the air. "Hull breach on decks 4 and 5. Someone shouted amidst the chaos, struggling to his feet. Zathan braced against his command console, determined not to yield, through the haze of smoke and sparks. He watched as the Defiant turned, preparing to unleash another barrage. This was the end. But Zorak, Emperor of the Zonians, would not cower. With iron will he faced his impending death head-on. Fire. He roared above the cacophony, as the Defiant unleashed a full salvo. Another explosion rocked the Fist of Conquest's stern. The deck buckled beneath Zathan's feet, consoles detonating in showers of sparks and shrapnel. Then, everything dissolved into a blinding white light as the world erupted into flames.